Right guys, welcome. And this project I'm using a single piece of 2x4 pine, another piece of designer furniture. Watch to the end. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how this one turns out. And out of a 2x4 piece of pine, you can make yourself things like this. And I amazed myself with this, to be perfectly honest. I had some little niggles along the way and one near the end where I had to sort of change things up a bit. But apart from that, I hope you'd agree the project looks fantastic. So I'm just chopping it up into various sizes, sort of milling it down to various bits and components, all that kind of stuff. So ripping it through the table saw. Just make sure your fingers are well away from that blade. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Comment and share. And if you want, join our membership, or you can hit the super thanks if you really enjoyed the video. So I'm just making sure I'm getting everything spot on here. I didn't come into this project with any sort of particular plan. I knew what I wanted to make, but I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to go with the flow and just as I go on, just make what I'm sort of visioning in my head. And if it don't work, it don't work. If it works, it works. And I think it works perfectly. There's probably a few things I would change if I was to make it again. But this is what woodworking's all about. It's all about learning as you go on. So guys, I'm going to be doing a video. I'm going to try and develop a video where I can show people's projects, that kind of stuff. Now, a few people have sent me the projects in. I've got them saved and stored. I just need a few more. Bit like of a podcast type video. Maybe it might be a good thing where we can talk about woodworking. Maybe do it as a live or something like that. Maybe, I don't know which format. So I'm just making sure everything's nice and level there. Just trying to get my accuracy up. It's really tough with pine, to be honest, to you know, have everything spot on. You know, you look at pine sometimes and it's dense as soon as you look at it. So I'm just eyeballing it here. It's nice and easy. Take your time. I love that angle. I love that video angle. So I'm just gluing all the mitred corners here. Just using my finger. I've got a spreader there right next to me as well, and I'm not using it. Sometimes I think I'm really losing the plot. So just make sure you get plenty of glue onto them sort of like end grain sections. And just put it all together, see if it's fitting nice. Make sure it's flat. And I'm just simply gonna tape over it for now there. This is just to hold it. I just want that glue to go off ever so slightly, just see if I've got any issues with it. And I'm just using these, I don't know what, you know, clamps, aren't they? They're called framing clamps, strap clamps, but they're ever so good. And just get all the excess glue away. That's just like a damp sort of wet wipe towel thing I use there. I'll just let them dry overnight. So So I'm just setting the depth gauge up here. And it's unplugged while I'm doing this. So I just need to get all my measurements sort of correct here. So I'm just going in, measuring up, marking off, and I'll just double check it all, make sure I'm right. I seem to spend a lot of time marking out. I don't know if sometimes you can overdo things, can't you? Overthink things, and you know, I'm guilty of that sometimes. So I'm just clamping them both together, and I'm going to run them through the table saw with a flat grind blade. You don't really need a flat grind blade. You can just use a normal blade, and you could just like level it off with a bit of a chisel, or you know, a 60 grit sandpaper, something like that. And I've done that before, and it works fine. I think the thickness of that blade there is 4mm. Now I have got a 6mm one as well. I've not tried out yet. I will try that at some point. Now I'm just adding splines to it as well. So I just wanted it sort of, the whole focus of this build was to learn. Again, more learning, more practice, and just start sort of elevating the design aspects of what I'm doing. So obviously with the mitres, with the splines, with the half-lap joint type things, all that kind of stuff, I'm just bringing it all together into sort of one project. I keep getting asked for them push sticks as well. If you want me to make you one, let me know. And obviously, if you're in the UK, if you're all, you know, other parts of the world, I can't send them. The postage price is ridiculous. And I hopefully can get some plans together for some of this stuff, so I can just send you the plans or whatever. I've got to start learning about all these different things. I'm just cutting the splines. I've still got some of that old mahogany tabletop what I've had for absolutely ages. I don't know how many. It's been so useful. It was, if a lot of you don't know, it was an old antique mahogany table, and it was unfit for purpose. It couldn't be repaired, so I broke it up for wood, plugs, splines, you know, inlays in boxes, that kind of stuff, and it's paying for itself, really. I didn't get these splines particularly perfect here. They're a little bit tight going in, but nevertheless, it still works well. So I just want to say a massive welcome to all the new people that have subscribed to the channel as well. You're more than welcome. I hope you get something from the group, and don't forget to comment if you see something or want to know something. Some of the other guys who have been on my channel for a while now, really helpful bunch. They're all fantastic. All my subscribers are absolutely amazing. So I want to say thank you to all them as well. And don't forget, again, let me know where you're all from. It's nice to know where you're all viewing from. So I'm just routing over with a little bit of a chamfer bit here, just to give it a little bit of detail and just to clean it up and make it look that extra 10%. Just make sure them fingers are well out the way. Sometimes it can be tempting, and I'm guilty sometimes of holding your hand too near that router. There you go. There's a nice camera angle for you. So down to the sanding, everything gets sanded. to eventually, I forget what I'm using here, probably using about a 120 or a 150 here, but it all gets put down to a 240 grit in the end. So I'm just hand sanding the insides, just getting all the rough pieces off. That's in the little joints there, just making sure they're right. I'm just piloting an hole here because this is where it's going to join. And I'm just adding a bit of glue. Make sure you get your glue onto the walls of that. By the way, I'm no expert, by the way, to all my new subscribers and viewers. I'm just a hobbyist woodworker. I'm not so much a beginner now because I've been doing it for, nearly 2 years. I've had my YouTube channel for, 18 months or something like that. So I wouldn't really say beginner, but I'm an hobbyist, a very enthusiastic hobbyist, and I'm no expert. And it's just all about coming on that journey with me. And hopefully, the more I go on, and the more I can sort of inspire you to go out and get in that workshop and get building, because there's nothing better than woodworking for getting the grey matter sort of going. So this section here is for the base. I'm just sanding this off. Bit of glue in there, and here's where I start realising I've made a mistake. When I've cut the half flaps, I thought I was being clever and cut one sort of thicker than the other, if that makes sense, and it doesn't work. It just does not work. But I'm sort of persevering with it here, sort of half expecting it not to work. And here's where I'm realising, when I'm starting putting things together, the wood starts splitting in its thinnest section. But I'm thinking, I'll stick a dowel through it. I'll do what, that'll secure it. So this is the middle section. This is okay here. It's them two ring bits, the two end bits, which are supposed to stabilise it. So I just leave that to dry, and then I'm coming to do the top now. So again, I'm using still the same bit of 2x4. Now all this was made using a single piece of 2x4, which was 2.4 metres long, and I still had some left over. If I can get myself organised, I will start doing some sort of plan, whether it's a basic plan or something like that. If you guys have got any suggestions how I can do that, I'm no good with all these technical shenanigans you see them all using, fancy computer programs and all that. It's I could learn about it, I suppose, but that's time consuming. I'd just rather get something quick and easy out for you guys, and so you get it. So the top, I'm going to sort of mount. The top's already put together underneath that plywood there. I've mounted the top. I don't know where the footage went through the video. And this is the sort of underneath of the top, which this section's okay. I'm just lining everything up, pilot holing and screwing in. Yeah, the tops are in strips underneath that plywood. If you can imagine it's upside down. Easy enough to do, glued on, all that kind of stuff. I just thought that bit of plywood there would just add that extra bit of stability. And guess who claimed it? As soon as she's seen it, it's already been claimed. Shelley's got it. She's using it as we speak as a little side table for, when she has a coffee or something like that. She absolutely loves it. I didn't tell her what I was making. So just this really through the middle here is just to give it an extra bit of support, and it's more I wanted to put a plug. I don't know why. I just wanted to put that mahogany plug straight in the middle of the tabletop. For whatever reason, why that was in my head, I do not know. Whether it's a design thing, I'm just going that way, I'm not sure. So I'm just getting everything nice and sort of level. I'm just giving it a blow off with a blower. And I'm using this white pigmented hard wax oil. It's supposed to keep it like a nice clear colour. And I'm just going, it gets 2 coats, but I do have like a problem, like I say, with that base. It's coming back to haunt me, and it has been for the, the last sort of, say, half an hour or so as I'm just going on with the project. It's like, what's going through my head is, if I was to sell this, it wouldn't be right. I'd be letting this go out, and it wouldn't be right. And that's what's going through my head, and that's a good thing, and that's what should go through your head as well. You can see there where I've got the, the clamp round one of the ends where it's not quite right. So I'm just thinking what I do. So what I do is I'm just taking it off, and I'm just going to see if there's anything else I can do with it before I actually make a complete new base for it. So I'm trying to go in with glue and sort of strengthen it where it's sort of splitting. And it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. And this is all part of the learning. People don't know. A proper sort of carpenter or joiner would say straight off the bat, Billy, that ain't going to work. But sometimes you've got to learn by what you do yourself, haven't you? And it's the best way of learning. So I've gone through, my second plan here was go through with a 9.5mm bit and stick these dowels in. See if that strengthened it, which it didn't. I still knew it weren't right. So that were it. Off it comes. It weren't right. I just decided to make a total new base, do the R-flaps right, and make them a little bit thicker. And that just gives it a lot more strength. So I'm just taking all the old bits of wood out here. It was glued in. Obviously, that black joint there where it was sort of glued in. So I'm just making sure I get it back to right. I take it right back, the base. And it's a good practice for my chisel, really. Just cleaning it out. So this is the start. I'm not going to bore you with me making the old sort of base again. It's basically the same, just a bit chunkier, and the dimensions of them R-flaps correct this time, instead of sort of trying to be smart and be, a bit ahead of myself. So here's it's finished. As you can see, it's all finished to a 220 grit. There it is with a base done correctly for a change. And I've done the splines there, miters. It's sort of like a chain link effect, sort of side table. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think about it. It's design-led furniture. I've seen similar to this, but I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I think it's worked. Do you think it's worked? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe either. That'd be much appreciated. And hit the like button. So there you go. Side table. I like it. I really do like it. I've changed something on that base. Next time I won't make it with that base. But bye for now. On to the next one.